What's up, guys? Stuck Wrestler here for another Elestrals video and another caster clash. Today, we once again have Jack Gam 67 here to join us, and I'll tell you what, this deck is going to be a little different. This might actually be an actual log approved deck. We'll find out when you watch the video, but we are on Antitan, guys. So, history of me and Antitan, barely any. I've not really played this deck that often. I think I've attempted Antitan once, and it was not good to say the least. So this is our next attempt at Antitan. I do like the way the deck feels, looks, etc. So this clash is going to show us if it actually is decent. So we are running only one of the Antitan because I don't think we need more than that, along with one Aardvark. We are running 3 Aardbuds. Again, Aardbud, when you cast it, you can search for an insect, and then if you have an insect on field, you can disenchant from it, and then go ahead and ascend into Aardvark. We are running the Wasp Ivy version of this deck, so we are running 2 of the OG Wasp Ivies. The new one, in my opinion, I'm not a big fan of it. I get it's a 9 attack, and then it's enraged, etc. But this one is unaffected by counter runes, and then if you are able to destroy it in battle, your opponent burns 3. So to me, this is just the better option. With that, we are running 3 of the OG Side Nectars. Again, we want to go ahead and get that quick ascension. We want to get out to Wasp Ivy. That being said, we're also running 3 of the Champion of Dionysus ones. So this one does search for your PTA. So I am running a couple different types of PTA. I'm sure you guys can already guess what those cards are. So we do run 3 of these as well. And then also, side note, if you hard ascend Wasp Ivy over the Side Nectar, it still counts as ascending through Side Nectar. So you can go ahead and still get that effect to be unaffected by counter runes. We are running a total of 3 Viscerus. We're running 2 of the OG, and then we're running 1 of the Firestorm. Again, these are limited to 2, so you can't go more. There's a world you could run 2 of these. I just don't think it's a good idea. But this one, if you have 1 of the Viscerus on field, it's unaffected by counter runes. So again, you're just able to keep battling over. And then if you have 2 of these guys on field, they're both 6 attack rest anyway, so you'll be able to hit over a lot of stuff. And the last for the Lustral lineup, we are running 3 of the Specterras. Again, it's a bug you can search for. It buffs for every card that's suppressed, and then when you attack, you suppress an Elestral. So I just feel like that's a really good option there. The rune lineup, it might be typical what you're thinking, but we are going to go 3 of the Artemis Arrows. Again, this is PTA, so you can ascend with Side Nectar, but also lets you say suppress an Elestral, and then Specterras can attack and gain even more attack points. -2 is also just very good. We are running 3 of the Ambrosias. That's typical. Removal of this deck, we got 2 Cryoblast. Mix this with the PTA. PTA is -2/-2. So anything with a 4 defense or less, then the Cryoblast will destroy for you. Earthquake, we're on Earth, so why not? And then resting on your laurels just in case. It's just another card that gets the removal going. Counter rune lineup, we are running 3 of the Gorgons. We are running 3 Shields. And of course, we are running 3 PTAs. Last 2 cards in the deck is Rise from the Shadows. Thought on this was just if Antitan gets out on field, and if I do have 3 Lunar and Underworld, then I can go ahead and get it out. I guess in that scenario, as long as you have 2 Lunar and Underworld, and Antitan gets destroyed, that's your 3rd, and then you Rise from the Shadows it back. It is Misenchanted, but again, it's going to be an 11 attack Misenchanted. And then the last card is a Poison Tunic. Again, Side Nectar effect, and also gets you that secondary burn effect. The rune or the spirits is going to be 2 Frost for the 2 Cryoblast. I don't like running 1. I'd never have. I probably never will. We're a total of 5 of the Owloons. This might be a little tight, but I don't think it's that bad for right now. If anything, I can change it. And then that being said, we have 13 of the Terratlas. It is an Earth heavy deck, so we do want to make sure that we have those handy. Hang tight, guys. We're going to go ahead and start the clash, and you guys get to see how this deck works. We'll see you later. Alright, so good news, guys. I actually do get to go first. We actually thought it was kind of funny. This is 2 videos in a row that Jack Gannon's been doing me with, and then he actually got a 3 both times, so I do think that's kind of funny. That was just a little joke. I saw a video the other day about someone rolling their dice, and they just set it down as a 6, so just humor back there, you know what I mean? You guys can't hear the audio, but we are sitting here laughing and having a good time, so... I go first. I play Side Nectar, Champion of Dionysus. This lets you search for your PTA. So again, having that Ascension ready. And then PTA is just a good card to have, especially. Now, this scenario, you seem to play 2 face down. You always want to play another face down when you're using the Side Nectar and the PTA, just so they don't know what the card is. At least in my opinion. So Jad's going to set 3 face down, and then we're seeing the Side Prong Champion of Dionysus. So already... immediately, I'm going to go ahead and PTA that. I don't want that effect off, especially if I get Side Nectar out. That can destroy Side Nectar. I don't want that to happen. And then a 4/4 is just a really good stat. So if I can remove that 100%. But sadly, he does get the search for the Dionysus. So I have to keep that in mind. He can enrage and daze my Elestrals if need be. So he is going to play it. I believe he does play it for 4. Yep, he plays it for 4. No point in him activating the effect right now, because if he dazes me, then I can go ahead and grab a card. So I do pay for the PTA. It is now my turn. And I just hard ascend into Waspivy. I had a Waspivy in hand. So again, this does count as the ascension from Nectar. So now I'm unaffected by counter runes. And then if he does destroy me, he's going to lose 3 spirits. So I set it on the face down, and I go ahead and pop him for 2. He's going to draw it. Now, this play he does is kind of insane. Again, you get Waspivy out, and immediately people are sitting here and like, oh no, this is not good. So he actually has the Drataya. So he does play the Drataya, and he believes he dazes me, and then he enrages it. So the enrage automatically lets him do the ascension. So he does get to play a Ladogon from deck. Now, he could play either one. He could play the base set, or he could play the Livestream one. But in this scenario, it's always going to be the Livestream one. Again, 8 attack. So I am dazed. I can't attack, but he can. And I believe he's automatically enraged because of the Drataya effect, so he has to attack. So Ladogon's effect, he's going to destroy, and he actually destroys my Rise from the Shadows, which is a card that 100%, not 100% that I want in the deck. I just had an empty slot, and I actually thought it worked out pretty well. So he actually goes for the Crash, so knowingly takes those 3 spirits, but he does get the search for the Ambrosia, so that doesn't feel as bad because he can immediately heal those spirits back in his next turn. So a little bit of confusion right there. I did have to correct him slightly. So he cannot play it just at the end of his battle phase, and then he didn't have an empty slot to play the card anyway. So all good, no harm, no foul. So with that, he actually is going to pass for turn. I draw. So now I'm just trying to figure out what do I want to do. So we're going to go ahead and try Viscerus. Again, I don't have any of the OG ones, so I have to get a guy on field. So I really like what this play he does. He does Dionysus Madness. So not only does he daze me, but he also switches me to defense with its secondary effect and is able to re-enchant a spirit onto the Dio because of it. So 1 defense, he's getting over it. There's no doubt in my mind. He's 100% getting over that. So he is going to go ahead and heal the 3 Earth with his Ambrosia that he got last turn. Next up, we see the Nectar Champion of Dio. So now he gets to search for a PTA. And he does, PTA, Poison Nectar, or Tunic. So he actually does get the Poison Nectar. So this one, it's the new Livestream one. So he's actually able to burn me for 2 and then rip a card out of my hand. So immediately on my cast, he does go ahead and play that card. So I got to burn 2 spirits, and then I'm going to lose a card in my hand. So I had combo set up, so I actually ditched the Ambrosia, which sometimes it feels bad, but as we've learned recently, you don't need the Ambrosia in every single deck. So we do play the Nectar. I attempt to play Poison Tunic, but he had Gorgon's Gaze. So chain of events, he did say in the Clash that he played it on cast. So obviously I'm not going to play that card. And I set another, and then I'm going to pass it back to him. So in this scenario, it's rough. He's got 2 cards asking him what he had in hand. I'm still trying to figure out what I wanted to do. So he drew. I actually am, you're going to see it here shortly, I am going to Gorgon's Gaze it. He's actually going to use his Dionysus. He's going to Dionysus effect to daze this guy to do the search. And I'm going to Gorgon's Gaze him. Because I don't want him to get that search. I don't want to. So you're going to see it right here. Decide on what exactly I wanted to do, but we will Gorgon. And that actually, that light right there with the Gorgons gives it like a fiery look. That's actually kind of sick. So he does not get the search, but his next play, kind of funny, is another Nectar. So he's going to get the search on anyway. So I think this was a slight misplay on my part. I think next time, if we did Clash again, I think I let him daze his Celestial to do the search, because then I could have Gorgon's Gazed this Nectar on cast, and then he wouldn't be able to attack this turn. So because of my goof up, I actually lose my Nectar, which could be a misplay. But this top deck is insane because it's another Nectar. So again, we find out he's got one face down. He can't stop it. I play the Poison Tunic on his Synectar. I did it on the the tournament pack one, just because again the different cards, so we just being specific. But I do actually get to ascend into my second Wasp 5. I am running 2 in this deck, so again 8 attack unaffected by counter runes. So at this point right now, it's not looking good for him. And with this attack, I actually want to burn him for 3. I'm going to hit 1 over the Synectar, and then Poison Tunic will rip him another 2 spirits. So at this point, I think he only had, yeah, he had 2 left. He draws. He's going to cast his Synectar. And then slight misplay, miscount in spirits. He was going to play PTA, which normally would be an amazing play. He would suppress my guy, lose 2 attack, and then he'd actually get to hard ascend into his, which probably would have won him the game. Like, that's pretty much it. But when he saw how many spirits he had left, he just, there's not much we're going to do there. There's not much he can do. So that being said, guys, that's the end of the clash. Felt really good about it. I don't think this worked out very well. This seemed more like a Wasp 5e deck. So I think if I tried the Arbud combos, we'll have to see down the road. You might see this deck in a future episode of Caster Clash. But this, I didn't actually get to do anything with Antitan. So that was the whole point of this deck, was for Antitan, and all we saw was Wasp 5e. So still not bad. Still felt good to win, and we are officially 2-0 on the channel, so that makes me feel really good there. I want to get as many wins as possible before we start getting losses, because I'm telling you, I know how I play. The losses are coming. That being said, guys, thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for watching another episode of Caster Clash, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.